10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Slog.
Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Team Secret's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Timber Saw.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Он опять сейчас пойдет то же самое. Просто пошел подкупать.
Что же, моим малость на немного такого количества хайпа. Итак, господа, третья решающая карта в этом противостоянии. Последний матч сегодняшнего игрового дня. Secret против SG Sports. Прямо сейчас. Тастер друг, прошу.
They're half a world away, but suddenly it feels a little more like home for SG Esports. Kevin, during the break, we saw a lot of SG signs popping up, quite a few of them right behind us. So they are building a fan base here in Kiev.
Strongly bandwagoning about 10-15 minutes into that game, I think, writing the SG names on their boards, but we'll see if they can take game 3. It's a bit of a weird draft for Secret. Technically no carries on paper other than Invokers. Very routinely do turn into the most farmed hero on the map, but we're looking for the last pick, and it ended up being a Timber Saw, surprisingly. Now, with that said, they do have Bounty Hunter tracks, so that can be one way to make that up a bit, but I think Sunstrikes and early tempo is going to be almost everything in this game.
Yeah, and it is Puppey playing the Bounty. I mean, in a bygone age, this was one of Pieliedie's signature heroes. I still look back on that Cloud9 game. I think it was at TI4 where Sing Sing was on the Meepo, and he just took over, sniped the Kerr, I want to say 3 times at deep wards all game, but of course he is also the IO player for Team Secret, so Puppey taking the Bounty this time around. See how the lane shape up here. Looks like might be an aggressive off lane here, potentially. The Undying showing like he could head to join that Sand King up top.
That's what I expect to see. I mean, you don't pick Undying and sit him in the safe lane to get levels or fast level 6. He's all about playing aggressive, maybe trying to punish the enemy carry, and comboing him with the Sand King is a good way to do this. They maybe could have even gone for some kind of a really heavy pressure lane, but they've got to have somebody covering the Slark a bit. And especially against a Beastmaster, a little bit extra heals can help maybe deal with Beastmaster zone him, stuff like that. But I think the big unknown is going to come between the Bounty Roam and the IO. Can they show up at the right place at the right time and get advantages?
Pieliedie starting with the early Iron Talon here on the IO, so definitely hoping he'll get to do a bit of passive farming and might even just leave MP to his own devices here. You know, Timber Saw against 2 melee strength heroes generally would do pretty well.
I don't know about this game, though. I mean, between Decay, it's going to lower space damage, his HP. With Caustic Finales, give Sand King a really easy laning start. This could give them a big advantage here.
Giuliano taking some early harass as Puppey's going to eat his tree.
That's actually a lane that might go quite bad. Storm Spirit's got a lot of base damage, but I mean, he's got to get in melee range to activate Remnant, and despite the high armor, trading with Bounty Hunters not always going to be easy. Yeah, no Sentry either. That's kind of maybe a big mistake here for SG.
Well, he does have one in his inventory
for
now, but has not opted to drop it just yet. So they do start to rotate that Undying. King RD trying to track down the IO of Pieliedie, already level 2. Looks like he might be headed south to try and continue this game of keep away, and King RD actually going to show up mid, so wants to stabilize this lane for Giuliano.
This will help a little bit. At least he'll be the one taking the right clicks instead, and if they do end up using a Shrine, it'll be double advantageous. Puppey coming back as well, and I think that's ultimately pretty good. I feel like Sand King's going to definitely have his way with the lane for the first couple levels. It'll be a little bit more dangerous later, though.
Yeah, we've seen it go both ways. Really just depends if you get that snowball of Caustics going, or if the Timber stays alive long enough and he gets to the Chakra. It gets a lot harder. They will make the move onto Kezu, carrying the early TP. Good choice in this lane. Even if the Undying was here, still not a stun available to that hero, so that TP is almost a guaranteed get out of jail free card until the Storm or the Sand King move off the lane.
Storm getting some really good harassment on mid one. He's going to have to walk something else out to heal him back up, and it's going to be a Salve and a Magic Wand. So it'll make a bit of a difference. Not quite ready with his Quas levels. And I feel like Puppey's definitely done some right clicking, but ever since the Undying went mid, he hasn't felt as effective.
Oh, this is going to be a value shrine right here. There's 3 Secret Heroes coming. Pieliedie closing in on level 3 with the Iron Talent, so he has been left relatively unpressured in the jungle, even if they're suffering a bit for it in the mid lane, only a 6 and 4 CS score on the Invoker. Pieliedie is looking to make up for it elsewhere.
Ooh, they're really excited about Navi here.
Even Navi was saying, guys, please cheer for the teams who are playing. But the Navi fans are not to be denied.
Yeah. They're all SG fans now, just maybe. King RD rotating back, trying to get behind Kezu. Still a very difficult kill, especially with no Orb of Venom. Just probably trying to guarantee that he gets really delayed levels, which is actually
that mid lane, Giuliano in trouble. The rotation from Secret there will score them the first flood, and a very important one with how the Invoker was struggling a bit, but now equalize on CS, the kill going to mid one of all heroes, so quite happy with that.
With them zoning Beastmaster, it's definitely very effective, considering the fact that Sand King is pretty much getting full levels, but the IO jungling definitely throws a little bit of a wrench into the gears of SG, because those kinds of setups, especially because you can do things like tether to the bounty hunter while he's still on Viz to get the guaranteed slow with 3 right clicks. That kind of unpredictability can be really tough. So I think things are going very good for SG. The zoning of the Beastmaster is huge. Delaying his 6 is big because it's just going to set up Sunstrike kills around the map. And before that, there's not really that much other disable.
And despite that kill mid, they are still leading here by a decent margin in net worth, with HFN just free farming in the bottom lane. Tavo doing quite well up top, as well as he is still ahead of the Timbersaw, and also taking time to farm these jungle camps periodically as the 4-minute bounty run spawns. He'll grab that too. So yeah, all things considered, Kevin, despite the first blood, I think they're still looking pretty good for SG.
Yeah, Tavo had an amazing game last game on the Dark Tree. It's going to be really crucial on this one. The Sand King pick was a response to the IO, just because that usually ends up grouping heroes. They're going to maybe go on King RD here. Still has his 2nd skill point. May go for his heal.
Pat using the heal on himself, but a little bit late. He'll end up going down early. Puppey does get caught. Dark Pack's there. It is enough. They get the counter kill. So Secret making the big journey down to the bottom lane, and they only trade 1 for 1.
Kind of feel like he should have gone for Soul Rip instead there. It's kind of hard to say, but with the Warlock heal and the Undying heal, I feel like if you double up on who gets gone on, it will buy him enough time to heal and stay alive. But Level Entomb just always feels so useless anyways. It just takes 1 here to deal with it. The zombies never stack up that much.
Oh, they are trying to keep the pressure up here bottom. The Hawk goes down, and now the pounce forward, but HFN, that's a big Dark Pact. It's enough to bring down Puppey. They might be able to turn on Kezu. Level 3 Dark Pact, just devastating damage. Secret were not ready for that.
And it wasn't just that, it was also the Fatal Bonds. Caught all 3 heroes, I'm pretty sure. That was the most I've ever seen damage-wise from a Slark early game. Incredible.
Normally Slark's just hitting creeps at this point in the game.
Yeah. I love how fast he turned as well. He read that situation perfectly. Oh, Bounty's back again? Jump on that guy, kill him. Made Bounty feel like a Ricky Maru in the early game.
Definitely on the back foot. So Highlight Eye will retreat to the jungle now. Continue farming. So we do see Tavo hitting level 6 up top. Still not really any threat to kill MP at full HP. All the while, Adliano, no longer the dominant force of this mid lane that he was early. Mid one is pulled ahead, starting to work towards the Midas. So Secret, still not really hitting their timing yet, Kevin, as we do here. A Sunstrike, but not going to connect. Mid one, unable to find that opening. It's just a zoning Sunstrike in the end. We'll see Tavo now being stalked by Puppey up top too. So a lot of movement here from both teams, but we're still waiting for Secret. I was going to say to get the relocate, to have the Beastmaster roar, maybe eventually the track, though it won't be for a while as Puppey's only level 2, so they're not really in fighting shape just yet.
Yeah, well, I would also really like to see the Sand King get into a team fight or a gank. I mean, he's been doing very safe farming and movement on the top lanes, splitting between the jungle and the lane. That way he's not as predictably ganked, but I mean, jumping somewhere with the Burrow Strike Epicenter could be huge in the early game here. It's, like I said, still weak disables. It's pretty much just Cold Snap, maybe a Tornado, and Shuriken Toss, so showing up the right place at the right time with some backup could definitely be a kill.
So far, only mid one who appears to be going for a Midas. SG gearing up more for just early skirmishes with HFN completing the treads, grabbing the raindrops, and engaging as we will see some damage on the King RD mid. Mid one hitting pretty damn hard. King RD does heal himself, drops the tomb, and now the ambush coming in is Adriano. Oh. Good damage with the DD rune. Mid one trying to get away, ain't gonna happen. The bait is successful, and
look at that taunt.
Gets punished.
Taunts before and after. The big moment was missing the Deafening Blast. That made sure the Undying moved where he wanted. Gets another decay off, and that has got to be the name of the game here. Put Secret on tilt.
It's a South American specialty. We saw it from Unknown at Frankfurt, and we are seeing it here again from SG.
We didn't see it game 2 very much, though, I must say, but they got to be feeling the morale here, and it's going to be some very excited fans watching right now.
It's still a very modest lead as far as gold, but the experience advantage is substantial. We're already seeing a Warlock about to hit level 5 King RD, a healthy 4. The core's all doing well, so the Rock could come into play relatively soon.
Yeah, thinking super far ahead.
Level 8 still now, for him. Straight away will be the choice, and well on his way to it.
Yeah, that'll be huge, especially if they have vision advantage. It could easily turn into a combo kill on important heroes like Io or Bounty Hunter, especially if Slark's in the area, has decent farm. All that needs is a Burrow Strike to land the Pounce, and the Pounce is going to lead into the next thing. But there's still the looming threat of the Timbersaw. That's the guy that's actually going to deal with Slark very well, and a lot of the other strength heroes. A lot of pure burst damage that's hard to reduce.
Yeah, and if he gets going, if the Bounty starts finding openings, remember, you also have Sunstrike, so mid one can just join those fights while pushing out the lanes. He Starts to get closer to the Midas now, up to nearly 1,000 gold. And by the way, Relocate already online. It's a very fast level 6 for Pylai, as he was essentially just an AFK jungling IO. So SG looking to make their first move here. Sand King has left the building. The top lane already pushed into the tower. A bit suspicious that no one's defending this.
Yeah.
And there goes the ping. Pylai knows something is up.
Oh, mid one moves forward, though. This looks really bad for him.
But they're baiting it. I think they do have the relocate ready. They could come in and look to turn this around, but it's already too late. Mid one's down for the count. Pylai does opt to relocate forward. They can kill the tomb, so they might be able to get King RD as well. Chaining through. There is a counter kill from MP, but is it really worth it? Undying for an Invoker hardly seems like a good trade.
They got that tombstone as well. Soul Rip was used to try to keep it alive a bit longer, but instantly dies. And it was not really the fight you want to show up to. The speed at which Invoker died there, I don't even think they needed the epicenter. He blew up so fast. And the important thing is delaying the Midas. So perfect pressure to delay that. And the threat's still Timber. They're going to go for Aurora. Nope.
That is a tough kill. Sunstrike comes in. They're still looking for the commitment here, but HFN easily dodging away. Warlock still no rock just yet. But they're trying to stall it out because Tavo is very close to a Blink Dagger. Only about 300 gold to go here. If he picks that up and comes bottom while Secret are busy diving the Slark, things could turn disastrous in a hurry.
Put a sentry on the back line just in case the bounty's there. And he's thinking about moving over. Looking for a rune, not going to get lucky. Regen on the top, and Storm's pushing in with the mid, and looks like Sand King's tops. This is probably going to force Secret to back under pressure here. They already missed the initiation. They've got Warlock to back up the Slark. If they do try to take a fight here, it could threaten some towers dying. So I think this is really good pressure from SG here.
They are going to get eyes now on Adriano in the jungle. Courier's coming out. Can Puppey snipe it? No, not quite, it looks like. So dodges away from that, stays farther back, but bottom lane, the action breaks out as the tombstone gets dropped, and HFN taking some pressure here, not going down yet. Tavo has the blink gold now, so any second could look to join this fight. And with
rough.
this tome, they're also going to have the Warlock gold, Kevin. Very dangerous time now for Secret, where they have to be very careful not to walk into a larger scale team fight.
Not to mention that was Kezu's Roar and all of his mana pool. He's not ready to fight anymore. And Slark is one of the best heroes against that, by the way. Just easy Dark Pack if you can predict it, and even if it goes on him instead, they're always going to have Undying and Warlock backing him up. And normally when we see Undyings, it feels so much about you having to pressure the lane successfully, but this game, he can even function as a sort of heal hero. Like a Dazzler or something. He's going to... Oh, nope, that was just unlucky for Puppey.
Poor Puppey. Taking the punishment mid, but does need that experience. Closing in now on level 6. As Sand King makes his move, is there any dire vision? He's TP down bottom. They don't see him coming. Killing off the Beastmaster would be big, as he's about halfway to the blink. Simultaneously, Puppey looking for a move on that Storm mid.
Yeah, Storm was pressuring that really hard. 4 creeps into him hitting the building. As soon as Puppey showed, he jumps on him to force Puppey to go invis, so that Puppey can't pull the creep wave. It was really well done, and creep wave doesn't, or the tower doesn't get quite low enough to deny, so pretty much perfect circumstance. That allows Storm to hit up the jungle again, and then once Secret makes a move and SG is able to react, maybe Storm can shift mid and take the tower again.
It's a very difficult kill on the Storm unless the Beastmaster's there, so as long as he has vision on him bottom, he's not afraid. Adriano with the regen rune still in effect is going straight for this DD bottom. He's got the vision on it. Oh, a great time for SG to try and force a fight. NRD holding top right now, and MP maybe looking to move in. This is a tempting opportunity. He's still relatively low level, that Undying, but they're not going to end up going for it. Even the dire scan coming out, they're like, is he really alone? Surely there's someone behind him, but indeed not the case.
Yeah, it may seem like SG's been a little passive, and perhaps I have, but the important thing as well is that Io's just been constantly sitting behind Timber. This is the most obvious place for them to gank. It's where the Sand King was. You normally think they're just going to rotate a damage hero or two, and that'll be the kill attempt. But instead, they're just focusing on grabbing farm and continuing their lead. They don't feel like they need to pressure too much, it seems like. At least not until now. They've got Shadowblade on Slark.
Yeah, and that's big. One thing I do want to mention in the matchup here is, oh, hold that thought, Secret looking to move in. They're going to roar, committing onto HFN. The relocate comes through. Can they burst the Slark in time? They do so, but perhaps at cost as Tavo comes in. First, it's the epicenter. Then it's the rock. MP chaining away. The ball forward, looking for the chase. Adriano does have the pull. He's going to find one, looking for more. The IO buyback forced out. That's 2 down now. The big burrow. Tavo showing up here. Can they get the kill on Pi? They will. It's a dieback. Huge loss as Kin RD charges in. Ooh, that was costly, Kevin. That was costly.
It really was. They do get the Slark at least. That was definitely a great pickoff. I thought he was going to live after surviving the roar, but with the relocate and the timber saw, that is more than enough to clean him up. And not quite the perfect positioning for Undying, but boy, did they turn that fight right afterwards.
Yeah, that's the thing. You dive them at the tower. You basically are just banking on them not being there, because if they are, you're going to get punished. So excellent bait by SG. Very crafty play from the squad. They won't be able to convert this into an objective. That tower stays alive. Still, all 6 outer towers remain standing.
Replay again here. Great initiation. He does get the ulti off, but the IO balls just wreck him. Tombstone goes down, and MP even can't get away. That one attack from Storm making a huge help to keep him slowed.
Mid one gets caught out here. HFN, he's packing dust. He wants this kill. Storm's there as well. Big grab. SG taking down the Invoker again. He already did buy the Midas, but this is going to delay the Ags.
SG's in the lead right now.
And by a large margin, too, as far as experience goes. Gold's still pretty close, but you got to remember that mid one went for this early Midas, so you would expect them to have a bit of a gold advantage, if anything.
And it's totally standard Invoker item. I don't even call this greedy in the slightest. I mean, Secret, maybe their failings are that almost all of their early pressure was reliant on Beastmaster getting a roar, and almost all those gank attempts were going towards the Sand King rather than the mid lane. IO as well, sitting behind the hero that never got ganked. And when their pressure finally came, it turned into an amazing fight for them.
Oh, if Puppey can snipe this courier, it would be huge. Not going to happen, though. Just a bit out of range. And now the Radiant scan reveals a secret incursion that is not so secret any longer.
Yeah, SG's reading this map really well. It's pretty clear. Kezu pushing out the bot lane. Their jungle is not safe right now, even with the tier 1 up. And with Slark getting the top tower, now they can actually group up and maybe try to take a fight here.
They're looking for it. They pop the dust. Puppey did get clipped by it. Will Tavo lock him down? Burrow comes through. Ball as well. Adriano finding the kill. Now on a dominating streak. And with that, almost completing the Bloodstone here.
And the lineup on Secret side looks so good because of Sunstrike setups, but the Sand King blink Burrow into Storm is almost so much better because the gap closed. He can follow up the disable. It feels so strong right now. If Secret can't even feel that safe on their side of the map. It didn't cost them a smoke, I believe.
Yeah, they did smoke for that one.
But either way, more kills that go towards Storm.
And the thing is, like, you really can't use relocate offensively unless you know where the Sand King and the Warlock are, because if you relocate into those ults, like we saw the fight bottom, you get wrecked. So their offensive options are quite limited, and to add to that, what I was going to mention earlier, Slark, a great tool to punish this type of pickoff lineup because of the vision game, where he can reveal wards. You don't let the team have vision aside from the Hawk, and you limit Secret's ability to go for those pickoffs. This Puppey going to get caught and punished again. HFN, as soon as he loses that bonus move speed, he just knows someone's in the neighborhood and he goes for it.
Yeah, actually the funniest part about that, he didn't have the dust in his inventory, but because Puppey was right next to the shop, he was able to switch it out instantly and get the kill. A little unlucky, but I guess that's where couriers hang out, right? Always going to be like that.
It just hasn't been that high impact bounty hunter game that you look for from Secret. As there's a roar bottom, they look for King RD. Roar is there, follow-up comes through, nice clean kill, and they'll need a lot more of that to get back in this game.
It looks so underwhelming with just the Sunstrike, but as soon as the IO shows up with the Spirits, they get blown up instantly. And that one was huge, actually. He's been pushing the bot lane for quite a while, getting last hits.
Well, the Slark show continues as Pylite tries to tether away, but Tavo there on the chase. Now they can look for MP, but with a hood and a soul booster, that is a very difficult kill. HFN not going to get caught by the 9.5k Sunstrike this time. We'll back away.
So Timbersaw continues to do really well this game. Finding the kills he needs, getting Slark low, but at some point, if Slark gets a little too farmed, it's going to start going the opposite way, especially against the Silver Edge. He's picked up the Ultimate Orb already.
Yeah, definitely a fantastic way to deal with Timbersaw. And you combine that with, an eventual Orchid for Adriano, and you're very reliant on Pylite to keep that Timbersaw alive with a timely relocate.
Yeah, he's brought the heroes to the right fights at least. So I feel like relocate's been used very effectively this game, as well as the general leveling. But it will still eventually come down to 5v5 fights, and SG's just getting further and further ahead on the Storm Spirit. We haven't seen him that much in the last couple minutes, but with Slark just moving around the map, taking some fights, it definitely makes a big improvement.
Just currently being watched here by the Hawk of Kezu, keeping tabs on this Radiant jungle. They're content to just farm right now, and King RD going back for the Midas, so trying to shore up a potential longer pace of the game. I guess a good time here is the action is relatively at a lull, Kevin.
Yeah.
How do you feel the lineups are going to match up going later, and what are the respective game plans for each team?
I mean, surely ultra late game SG wins easily. They've got Warlock for team fight. They've got Undying for team fight. They've got all this heal that can burst, keep somebody alive. That will take a lot of burst damage from Secret side. Storm Spirit's great at split pushing and getting pickoffs late game. Slark is very effective in that way too. I feel like they by far have the advantage, but Secret's obviously going to have vision advantage. Oh, he gets roared actually.
Roar bottom. Big commitment here by Adriano. He's going to get the heal. KNRD now in trouble. Storm should be able to ball away to safety. But that may just mean Undying becomes the sacrificial lamb, and he's so close to that hand of Midas. Actually could buy it. They're still engaging here. Is he going to spend that gold? Gets the pull off on MP for now.
Spend your money.
My friends. No. Just panicking a bit, I suppose. We'll end up going down.
Press your quick buy, not your taunt.
Maybe that's the problem. Still trying to bait this one out. Adriano not ready to give up on the fight just yet. They see this Timber. He is now on a bit of an island, but he's very tanky without the Silver Edge in play.
On the bright side, Undying has hit 10, 90 GPM. He'll finish it soon eventually. And then back to hopefully fighting, because he's been just living in this bot lane for a good 9 or so minutes here. Midas is up, and yeah, Storm did some good work there, but he's definitely showing some vulnerabilities.
This is the Silver Edge debut, perhaps for HFN, the Secret Smoke. And they're going for a rather bold play here, Kevin. They're heading to the Roche Pit.
Ooh. This is a pretty standard Secret move. I feel like SG's in a bit of a lull. I mean, they have done some good pressure. Oh, they're actually not going rush. They're looking for the kills.
Yeah, the pinks came out, so you can tell Secret are thinking about it, maybe wanting to secure high ground vision here before stepping a foot into that pit. As Adriano could be in trouble. Kezu is there. He's going to get roared. Sunstrike comes through, and the follow-up damage, well equipped. MP will bring him down.
That's a really cool ward that they have here, and that's exactly why they got the kill. Sentry as well to spot anybody they need. Mainly for the Slark, really, is what this pairing is for. And he was hoping just to get a freebie, maybe a Bounty Hunter, maybe an IO. Would have been pretty easy if it was just them, but that's a huge kill, because now they can pressure the tier 1 tower in the top lane, or better yet, let the creeps and the Forge Spirits do it, and they could just go do other things instead.
Yeah, that top tower is going to drop to mid 1. A Secret ramp back up, heading towards the mid game, and despite a very poor start, they're well back into it. In fact, leading as far as net worth. Mid 1 has been a busy man hitting creeps and pushing towers, and now looking to defend this bottom lane. Remember, this is really 4 heroes in the neighborhood with the relocate, so HFN has to be careful. Sunstrike to start it off. Tower's dead. Can he get out in time? He will pounce away, committing the Silver Edge as well for this, and now KNRD coming in, trying to potentially set up a follow-up fight. Tavo on the retreat as well. In comes the IO, and KNRD down again. This Undying dying an awful lot and not really living up to his name.
Yeah, I really think he hurt himself a lot by just hitting creeps instead of moving around with his team, because it just created gank opportunities. It delayed his Midas due to that death, and then now in some of these moments, I feel like he's getting great heals off, but he's also being a vulnerability. He's the guy that keeps getting killed. He's going to pick up a 4-staff this game. Would love to see maybe even a Tranquil Boots. It seems like movement speed and a little bit of regen. It's going to pay off more than Arcanes could, because there's just so much burst damage on Secret. It's all about if you get initiated on and caught.
Gem is the grab. So now another tool to deal with Puppey, and perhaps more importantly, an opportunity for some dewarding here, as we are going to see HFN walk aggressively onto Kezu. Jumps him. Now commits the Dark Pack. The ward not able to get it off in time. He will end up going down, and now they can turn onto MP. They might be able to burst him down here. He's quite low, in fact. Timber chaining away across the ravine. The rock's a bit late. They drop the Golem to no avail. An unfortunate expenditure, but at least getting the single kill on Beastmaster. SG are going to have to back away.
That's actually a pretty big loss here. Warlock, surprisingly, very, very underfarmed this game. Brown boots for him. Yeah, I think that's all he's got. Amazing. I really expected him to have more, considering they were winning their early game.
I mean, you'd think if anything, it would be the Warlock trying to get farm and go for a Midas. Maybe the Undying sacrifice himself.
Yeah, maybe. Levels are amazing on Undying, by all means. But I would maybe like to see some kind of supporty items on Warlock.
HFN packing the gem, doing some dewarding here. Fortunately for him, there's nobody in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty bold deward maneuver.
Lincoln's is his next goal. I like this a lot. That's limited disables. Trek is pretty good at stopping it, is the one upside for Secret, but once it's grabbed, it's going to force Beastmaster to grab something like a 4-staff, perhaps, to be able to actually grab those kills.
Well, Secret's certainly a veteran team, Kevin, and after a shaky start, they are equal as far as gold and experience goes, relatively speaking, so...
Ooh, Slark thinking about approaching, but the ward spotted him out. Sentry goes down as well, and he does not feel good about walking high ground into a shrine. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Secret were just praying that he did. That'd be a disaster to lose a gem that early.
And secure the kill on the highest net worth. It would be amazing. Tavo spending so much money on sentries and observer wards. Maybe overkill due to having a gem, but as long as his positioning is really good, this could be all right. But I mean, the lack of carry on Secret kind of fits this playstyle a little bit in that normally if you're at the support, you sit way in the back. The carries are going to have, what, Blink Dagger, Shadow Blades, hit the back line, kill the supports first, but it's just not that conventional for Secret. So there won't be like a BKB hero that hits the back line, right-clicks until he dies. It'll have to be Timbersaw's landing abilities and Invokers going for right-clicks. And
really good combinations with a Roar into a Sunstrike, trying to rack up the track gold and keep that snowball advantage. I mean, they have decent physical damage with the Exhort Invoker and Inner Beast, but it's still only a level 1 Necro Bulk at 25 minutes in. So it's not where it could be for Secret. But they are going to try to take the fight. MP lunging in onto Cat. Does not have the Golem. Sure would love it for this engagement as they engage onto MP, but can they focus him down? They roar the Slark, but it's right as the relocate away happens, so I don't know if they have the follow-up damage to secure this kill. Bit of miscommunication now from Secret. Kezu going to pay with his life. Adriano just goes splat, though, to the big Sunstrike. Mid one coming in, and now the Epi. A pretty good one. Now the relocate back, saving Pylite Die, but it's still not enough. He's in danger. Pi will fall, and now Keenard D romping forward, looking for MP. They're going to have a Burrow available. Blink. Burrow, do they have to follow up? No, he jumps away to safety. They at least kill the Storm again, who's now down to only 6 Bloodstone charges, so he struggles, but SG as a whole find the victory.
Yeah, so
and they do it without Golem.
3 dead heroes now. The tower's going to get pressured. Yeah, like we were talking about, the Warlock, despite getting gone at the start, it just wasn't the guaranteed gimme. Bounty Hunter gets caught, though. This is pretty bad for him.
Will he end up going down quite low. Not able to finish the job, though, and heroes are going to respawn soon. Trying to get back into it. HFN for now on the retreat. Storm has respawn. He's currently farming mid. KNRD goes for the TP out. Shuriken says no, so Puppy with the master bait. It pays off. There is very little chance they catch this Slark, dare I say it. And, yeah. Although now the IO respawns, no relocate, so he'll get back to safety. Overall, feels like still a win for SG, but not, again, not as clean as it could be.
Yeah, the Timbersaw is still becoming a huge threat here. And I guess having Storm Orchid will definitely provide some solutions there, but surely, yeah, he's actually very close to his Aether Lens. So Plate Mail on the way here, so now even the physical damage he's taking is going to be heavily reduced.
And yeah, you have the Silver Edge, but there's still an IO to back him up.
Yeah, worked really well in the last fight.
There's not a whole lot of lockdown either, aside from the Orchid. But once that's down, he's able to get off multiple Timber Chains in fights on the retreat, so definitely a difficult kill.
To see the replay once more. The kill on Storm was maybe the significant part. Jump to the left, I think, got Cold Snap as well as the Sunstrike was perfect here. Definitely Blast helping out too, but King RD hitting the back line here with the Epicenter and the heal. All of a sudden, Invoker just goes down rapidly.
Yeah, but you do have to wonder, like, at some point there's going to be a BKB on the Slark here, potentially on the Storm, and okay physical damage, but they're certainly not killing those heroes during BKB unless they've jumped in and played themselves out of mana or escape pools.
And at the least, they do have Roar, so they can lock them down a little bit, but there's not
one
your target.
There's another one being built, or at least hoped for by Adriano, so at some point you'll have double linkage, maybe double BKB as well.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Still a ways down the road, though.
So I think SG just pushes lanes out again. Mid one is doing a great job pushing it out with his BOTs. TP's down there, pushes lane. And that means SG kind of has to 5-man around in that area. Because if they do spread out, things get pretty bad for them taking defending against ganks, really. They've got decent mobility, 4-staff now on Undying, but Storm can obviously jump around too. But if it's just Warlock or Undying getting caught, not a good situation.
Well, speaking of BKBs, Kevin, we see one now on the Invoker.
Love Puppy.
Here we go. HFN thinks he sees an easy kill. Sunstrike's there, though. Now the trap, the turnaround. They don't have the damage. The relocate out came from Pi, and another snipe, another freebie. this ball keeps on rolling for SG. Still down. Technically, they're going to go for the punish here. They get the silence off on MP. Now trying to find the IO on the retreat. Really committing for this Timber, but he's still at full health. Meanwhile, down goes Pi as the Rock is committed. Just for a support kill, not really the ideal golem usage again, but hey, another kill for them. Might be setting up for more as they jump onto mid one. The ball forward, drops the BKB, but he's taking a lot of damage already. Mid one might not be able to stick around. Here comes the combo. They drop the gem. They get the kill on the Slark, and now have to scramble to retreat. KeenRD does salvage it. Tavo into the trees, punished by MP. Good bait for mid one, and now they look for more with Adriano. Low on mana, does have the Bloodstone Suicide available. He will ball to the low ground. No mana for a TP. Now he's going to go for it, but the Tornado clips him mid one there with the Suicide now forced out. Roshan is up, and this looks to be ripe for the taking for Team Secret.
Very aggressive dive there. I like their initial go, perhaps, because they were able to get the IO, but maybe a crucial mistake. Storm grabs the Arcane Rune. He balls before he even uses it, and that's going to burn at least an extra 30% of the mana he spent there. Made it a little hard to get the kills, and then they definitely dove too far. Slark is not invulnerable yet, and even still, they should have checked Invoker's items. He had BKB. That Cure was very difficult to kill, actually.
And mid one just played them like a fiddle, very patient on popping the BKB. Yeah. We saw it earlier from Puppy top that Secret have just done a good job at baiting SG, where SG have a clean win in a fight, and then they just force it too much.
Yeah, trying too hard to close the game out, and that's not what you want to do against a bounty. You do not do aggressive things. Because when you fail them sometimes, the track gold just starts flooding in, and all the advantage you gain throughout the game starts going right back out. And we've seen amazing performance so far by the Slark, but the Storm just hasn't really felt as effective. Definitely participating well, but it's going to go back for a BKB instead, and that's kind of what he needs. Just too many disables flying out that could change things.
Yeah, it really feels like if you're SG, you just kind of don't want to take any fights until you have that double BKB. But Secret continue to accelerate their farm.
I mean, the occasional pickoff here and there I think is completely reasonable, but it's got to be still really safe, conservative pickoffs.
And those are kind of tricky to find when Timber is BOTs and there's an IO in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so much mobility on Secret to counter gang.
But considering he still has the gem, they were able to recover it through the grab of Undying. All he has to do is what he did before: find Bounty Hunter, find IO, and Beastmaster. I guess it's definitely hard to get kills, even solo 1v1s.
SG losing a bit of steam here at a crucial moment. Can they recover? They look for this tower top.
Dire's top tower is under
Chipping
attack.
away, but the glyph gets committed now.
Structures are
And Puppy starts to ping. Wants the team to assist, perhaps. It's a dangerous time. They are about to get the golem back. We haven't really seen a big rock from Cat since the early laning stage. And in comes the Slark. He gets eyes on Puppy. Puppy. Perhaps trying to lure him in.
He wants to kill the ward, but he can't. It's too far away. If only he was a Monkey King.
That's so risky.
Yeah, it actually is. There's a high chance there's a sentry there anyways.
And I like the way that Secret are playing this. With MP just pushing out that bottom lane, he's going to call their bluff, force SG to back. And they also managed to hold the tower.
These kinds of things are going to make a huge impact in the overall game. So sending Storm back, everybody backs from top. Maiden's going to push out. This would be the perfect time to leave just enough heroes to actually kill whoever pushes top. And he's pinging for it. He's like, if I had a Slark here right now, we could probably kill Invoker. Maybe 2 heroes. He does have the Aegis, though. That's the scary part.
Yeah, and there's the relocate. So you blow all that, and then maybe Timber BOT's in. The relocate comes, and suddenly it's like a 4v2.
That's a good point.
Speaking of fights top, mid one does search here for Tavo, but Tavo's able to blink away. Tornado's not going to connect, so
And
take it back towards safety.
The other 3 heroes smoked mid looking for some kind of a roar.
This is a big time to not die. HFN, Lincoln's going to get broken, but he is able to pop the Shadow Dance in time, and now should be able to buy the BKB. Though if he buys it and dies, he will not have buyback. But it's such a big item this game. I feel like you just have to risk it.
Yeah, with the heal backups they have, it might be enough to keep him alive no matter what. And if he does find the right initiation, it would be huge.
Uh-oh.
They're going to go for Warlock, I think.
Cat could get pincered here. The track is on him, but now the ball lightning from behind. Adriano going to take the wheels off of this aggression. There's the Lotus Orb commitment as they try to focus him down. He's low on mana. He's still alive. KeenRD keeping him in fighting shape, but they are going to lose the Storm at long last. So he drops. That's 2 down. No buyback on the Warlock, which means no Golem for the next 30.
I really liked his call to go in on the Beastmaster, but the problem was that the Necro 3 was up, so even though he was hitting the right target, disabling him, his mana got drained instantly.
Slark does a BKB though. This could be a big opening. Has to be patient. Has to find that right time to go in. Wants to get the Essence Shift stacks up, but he loses so much health here. He's got to jump away already, committing the Shadow Dance to this fight before it's really begun, before the Warlocks respawn. And now again, the Sand King coming in. 3-hero burrow. Will he find the opening? Savo, no epicenter just yet. Being patient with that, but they have brought down the bounty. Stabilizing the fight. Puppy's out for the count. The BKB already committed by HFN, and now the Rock. Big one, but mid one still alive. Still is BKB. Still is Aegis. Can they really go further without the Slark BKB? They want to. They want it bad. But I don't think they have the firepower they need to continue this engagement.
Oh, they will chase though. Sand King's been doing a good job. Drops a Sandstorm.
Still on pursuit. Oh, it's so far to dive.
Yeah. Pilot Eye's been doing a great job saving heroes if needed. They get some good damage on the tier 3 tower. Any buybacks there? I don't think so, right? Yeah. No one actually does buyback, but clearly seemed like a fight win for Secret. The next target's, what, 3-4 minutes for Roche? And still no big impact from Storm Spirit. Having a lot of trouble finding the kills.
Yeah, in a game where there's not that much lockdown for him, it's Invoker, who is a one-man CC machine to be fair, and it's Beastmaster, but that's basically it. He's not able to stay alive. HFN lunging in on the Slark. Now he is going to get spotted out, jumps to the high ground, but he does get stuck here. No BKB 15. Force Staff is there. Tavo to the rescue perhaps. Might pay with his own life as he gets silenced. He gets gone on. Cold Snap coming through, pumping in the damage. Is mid one. Still confident to move forward. Slark coming in again from the rear. Does have the BKB. And he's going to commit it again just to run away. 2 BKBs. Nothing really gained from either.
That was such a big loss. Sand King is their initiator as well, and he's dead for 50 seconds.
And they have no BKB. They have no Warlock ult, so they're basically fighting without 2, arguably 3 of the heroes, with Slark very reluctant to go in. So here comes the ball. Lightning from Adriano, but no follow-up just yet. Mid one, working on that Rax. All of a sudden, Secret finding their footing. This team undefeated in the group stage.
It's got to get out.
Looking to pull out here on the main stage and advance into the quarterfinals. Haven't taken the Rax yet, but bring it down by about half. Choosing to go for the melee, not the range.
Puppy's in pretty low, but you know, 3 shrines at this point. And MP still looks like that unstoppable force that they absolutely can't kill. They needed somebody to kind of scale as a core, and Slark's great at that, but he's not so good against it against Timbersaw. It's just not the same. And the BKB has been popped so many times in the last couple minutes. No new damage items for him.
So they have double BKB now. Is it going to be enough? You do see an Orchid picked up on mid one, so starting to transition back into more physical damage here with the completed Bloodthorn, the next goal. So it's kind of an arms race, but you do wonder, like, is it fast enough for SG to keep up with this Invoker?
I'm not so sure. I feel like they're taking the fight to, it feels like Slark against the world, kind of. I mean, we're seeing Undying heals, the Tombstone's going down, dying almost instantly most times. But I just don't feel like the Storm's doing enough. It's very difficult against Roar. There's a lot of magic burst damage, but
oh, that's a big scam.
Got to find a way to get useful.
Does just clip Kezu. Do they choose to engage here?
Okay, they killed the Hawk. It was a little bit of a guess there for King RD.
Basher is up on HFN. He's considering a dive on mid one. Mid one is actually a bit unprotected here at the top lane, and they're going to go for it. There's the Blake. Initiation comes through. BKB is available. He needs a bash. Is he going to get it? Tries for mid one. Needs one more auto attack. It's not going to happen. That really hurts. The BKB is still going. Does manage to bring the Timber low. Now turning back for Beastmaster. That's 3 heroes low. Also the Io slinking away. They do get the bounty on the backside. It could have been 4 for SG there. Yeah. Only 2, but still happy with that fight.
Oh, it was actually an amazing fight for them. I mean, despite losing the Invoker kill just barely. In fact, Storm making a big mistake. Thought they had it. Balled back towards the other side of the fight. He could have gone high ground getting the kill. Regardless of all of that, it was completely split up there for Secret. So Tombstone had no threat at all. Sand King and the other heroes as well. Dropping good teamfight ults and winning another engagement.
Well, the Basher is obviously a big tool here, as it could really shut down mid one in the upcoming fights. We're going to see Pylai Die return to the relocate. Nobody sticky around top, but Slark's starting to feel more confident as he patrols the map. Constantly looking for those pickoffs.
Lincoln Spear will make a big difference for Storm, but he's still kind of in the same problem area. Mana problem is the big thing. Definitely a better teamfight performance for him, but Timbersaw still invulnerable. Going to be building Shiva's Guard next. so some attack speed issues. But the Basher definitely making a big difference. Abyssal is where everything really changes. He may not even need backup to start getting some solo kills with this. Invoker still has low armor. Very threatened. Nothing new for Sanking either.
And you mentioned Storm wanting mana regen, 3 Bloodstone charges. That is a sad life for any Storm player.
Yeah.
Lost 75% of what he once started with. And now Secret looking to make their move. They smoke up. They're going to walk directly towards this middle lane. Nobody's showing right now, but someone's going to have to push this wave out. Bottom lane is slowly being pressured by the Spirits, maybe thinking someone will go to defend that. They head to the south. Roche is up though, and if SG want to roll the dice, they might be able to sneak into the pit here. Go for it themselves. They're not really the best Roshan lineup, but Secret is so damn far away. Perhaps they can sneak it. This would be a big Aegis. You can tell they're thinking about it. They are going to kill off the Hawk, but with that Hawk dying, I don't know if they dare risk sticking around. No, they're thinking about it, Kevin. They're thinking about it, but
I don't think Secret cares. They're just going to go hit the barracks.
like, great, you have Aegis, we'll have a lane of racks, and that is not a trade that SG wants to make. So they have to glyph here quite early. Secret calling their bluff. There's the Blink Burrow to start things off. It's on to MP, and now onto the backside goes Adriano. He's got the BKB, commits, looking for the Kezu pick. Can they lock him down, finish him off? Not quite able to do so. Now the Roar coming out, keeping him in place. The Slark fights on, do it all, and now the Epi, it's a massive ball of damage that Tavo delivers, crushing Secret. 4-drop, Tavo showing up again, almost clipping Kezu on the way out as well. Holy crap, what a showing Tavo has had this series.
Oh man, it looks so good for Secret too. SG kind of did a split initiation. Storm went in a little early, but it bought them enough time for Slark to arrive, and the overcharge was making the difference, keeping Kezu alive. But all of a sudden, man, the Fatal Bond's epicenter cleaned up Secret.
Yeah, Fatal Bond's maybe the Secret MVP of that fight. But
And the Flesh Golem, I'm sure. I mean, they outmaneuvered SG by all means. They're hitting the building. They forced the glyph. They prevented the Roche.
and then they stuck around just a little bit too long, and SG, give them credit. They're not afraid to chase for these kills. Even when Secret maybe has them on the back foot, they're taking risks and they're paying off.
Yeah, that's absolutely a time where being maybe a bit overly aggressive like in first series pays. Here's the replay again. Storm looking like he's going in by himself. The crucial BKB helps make sure the Lotus doesn't reflect. And of course, Slark in there too. Roar comes out. It looks bad, but there's the epicenter in the back line and the tomb and everything.
And you say wombo combo as HFN is feeling it now in Kiev. They were just chanting SG, SG. The Navi chants have quieted, and I think we might have some real fans of Brazilian Dota at this rate.
I mean, they looked really good in their qualifier matches when they ended up qualifying for this tournament. Rough game one, but boy, did they pick it up again.
It's not over yet, though. Secret down 5,000 gold, but still the whole base secured. Tier 3 is about to be under siege, and here comes their toughest test of the Kiev Major. Undefeated in the group stage. If SG continues this push, they could be looking to take Secret down right now, but they're not quite ready for it yet. The split push was happening bottom, drawing Adriano back. He was the recipient of that Aegis. Now looking for his Lincolns, has completed it. So 2 carries with BKB Lincolns. Good luck locking them down.
No kidding, especially with the weak disables they have. I mean, Bloodthorn's amazing, but Invoker's forced to go for an armor item immediately afterwards. He can't deal with Slark hitting him as the game gets later and later. And past that, no true carry. I'm sure MP's done a ton of damage this game, but
he's still an
need a
Invoker.
right clicker.
Yeah. Those BKBs are starting to get low. I suppose that's the one thing to keep in mind. HFN down to 6 seconds. I believe Adriano's quite a bit healthier at 9. But
I don't even feel like it matters that much, though. I mean, it's a great item against Invoker, by all means. It stops things like AoE Deafening Blast if he goes for it. That'll reduce a lot of damage output. But really, it's the burst Timbersaw damage in the period of the game where your HP is low. And the carries are not at that position anymore. They're all getting more mobile, more survivable.
SG marching down bottom now. Grouping up behind a very confident Slark. Now goes for one of the ultimate late game items on Slark, the Refresher Orbs. You've got the double Shadow Dance, the double BKB, the double Abyssal, and hell, even the Silver Edge could be huge this game in some of those later fights to ensure the Timbersaw is completely out of reactive armor. But they're not quite there yet. Backing off of bottom. far as that Aegis timer goes, about 2 minutes and change to go. Do they try to go high ground now, Kevin, or do they just farm with this and continue to transition into the ultra late game?
I mean, they are still going to get stronger and stronger as the game continues, despite the high farm levels of Secret. But I mean, why not try to take a fight, get a tier 3 tower, break shrine advantage that their opponents currently have? I think that's a big target to hit. But it's got to be the lanes pushing out first. And Secret's always going to be better at that because they have summons. They can relocate. They've got more BOTs. They summon Forge Spirits. They summon little boars. All it takes is a boar, 2 boars maybe, and the lane pushes.
SG. Straight down mid, barreling towards Secret, and they find a hit. They scout out Puppey, walking through the scan, though he doesn't realize it. Now Slark on the hunt, prowling, but nobody to track down yet. Secret get wise to this. They will retreat back into the safety of their base.
I think if somebody was pushing top lane, they wouldn't have felt that this was happening so much. It's a very safe place for SG to be. Somebody would go there, nuke the wave a little bit. And in the meantime, the Forge Spirit's doing the same thing bot lane, pushing the lane out.
Yeah, the problem is if you go top, no one can really join the fight because nobody has BOTs on SG, nor is there a tower near that mid lane.
Yeah, that's definitely going to cost them.
There's still one shrine top, but it's still pretty far away.
I wonder if this Ags on Sand King's going to make a big difference too. Applies Caustic Finale, I believe. Super long Burrow Strike, that'll help.
The super long Burrow Strike is so dirty. Like, IO relocates someone back towards safety, and Sankey maybe just follows you and kills you anyway. You've got that in Storm, and even the Slark, just incredible gap closing in general for SG with those 3 heroes.
So, further means they should just pressure lanes, push lanes in, look for initiations, but Secret's not going to make this easy by any means. This may turn into a bit of a stale game in that SG just kind of has to farm the map repeatedly until they have such a big gold advantage that they feel comfortable going for less safe high ground pushes. But I'm sure there will be a moment where Secret feels it's time to jump out, get kills. And as they do spot SG on the opposite side of the map, they poke out briefly, do some dewarding, and get back in their base. They can't let them have full control of the map.
SG finds a tasty treat here. A blueberry for HFN. Now hitting like a truck. Up to over 400 damage per auto attack, and that's before he starts racking up the Essence Shift. As he will move directly past the pair of Forge Spirits. Does get scouted out here. Mid one trying to ensure that there's no pesky surprises from that Slark. They're keeping the top lane in, meanwhile Storm getting more aggressive, so SG trying to do a bit of a split push maneuver here, and it's Secret who look to retaliate on the bottom lane. Puppey, MP combining there. They flank around. Don't think they get here in time though. MP, BOT's out, and Tavo, he was actually just about in range if he guessed right, but not going to find the opening.
That would have been a really good catch. Would have probably forced Timbersaw to suicide. Not the biggest loss for him considering his mana regen at the moment, but definitely a big kill if possible. Lanes get pushed again. Top lane is very healthily pushed in. Mid lane is pushed in very well. But again, the threat is that it basically has to be Storm Spirit, Slark, or the Sand King. The other 2 supports are not the most survivable just yet. I'd say Undyne's in a great spot though. Picks up the plus 50 Tombstone damage talent. I think they hit for like, what, 30 damage, about 40 damage? So 90 damage for a Tombstone zombie, that could actually add up really rapidly.
And it's not like you're going to be focusing that when you've got a Storm and a Slark this farm to worry about. Not to mention, there's the Fatal Bonds factor to keep in mind. So that is not just a flat bonus damage, but it amps up a little bit more directly.
Slark does an instant purchase out as well. Scotty's his choice. Now he's 3.5k HP. Anytime he presses his ultimate, he's getting a good like 250 HP per second. Going to be really useful in this fight. So I just feel like he's got no buyback right now, so that is maybe one weakness here, hypothetically. Secret could try to grab him here. I think they have vision.
They have the Hawk. They know he's in the neighborhood. They've got to break the Lincolns. He's already jumped down to the low ground. They still pursue. BKB still available. Secondary rover's there. He didn't BKB in time, or has he? He tries to get away. He pops it. He survives. And now the turnaround perhaps from Montiano. He comes in looking for the rescue, trying to burn down Kezu. Tomb gets dropped. More commitment, and the epicenter's coming. Look for the follow from Tavo. He does get locked down for a moment under the sandstorm, but he stays alive. HFN re-engaging. You called it. Full HP, and now look looking for mid one, chewing through the Invoker, slashes him to bits, turns back for the Timber. No deny for you, sir. 3 have fallen. SG are surging, and they charge down mid.
They're going to have to get in the base real soon because they're going to catch him. Oh, very close there for Io.
Invoker just fought back. If he dies again, unless they've gotten like 3-4 kills of their own, it's basically checkmate. SG looking to pull off the miracle, and it begins with a Tavo Burrow. The follow-up is Adriano, but doesn't want to commit. Backs off. He's low on mana. Still, the siege continues.
And everything changed there when the Storm was able to buy just a fraction of a second for Slark. The BKB and the instant Shadow Dance to get the heal in. And that allowed the reinitiation, and ultimately Secret losing that team fight. They can get a Rax advantage here. It's going to really solidify their lead, but they should probably back here.
Puppey trying to keep those Lincolns popped, and finally some structural damage to the core Secret base. SG taking down the tier 3 mid. They have really turned this game on its head, now closing on a 20,000 gold lead, nearly a 30,000 experience advantage, and doing that against a bounty hunter when they were already trailing. They managed to flip the gold game completely on its head.
And they keep going up as well. I mean, the Sanking's got 5,500 gold in the bank. I think he's just going to buy like maybe a Lincoln's of his own, but something like a Hex could be really valuable. Like, everything's going to contribute really well.
BOT is currently queued up. They're maybe a little light on the global mobility aside from Storm. So.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm going to see the clip again here. Great refresher roar by Kezu. Solid play, but definitely took some time there for the rest of Secret to follow up, and as a result, he ends up getting into the ultimate BKB combo.
He was so low.
Yeah. The Epicenter, surprisingly, it was a little bit of a failure. It does barely clean up Kezu, but mostly that was just a bunch of creeps going down.
Oh, those creeps got wrecked.
Yeah, they really did.
But you could see round 2 of the fight, when Secret uses the double roar, if they don't get a big carry kill, the fight's over. There's just no way they're going to kill the Slark after that.
Yeah, that one's got to be stressful there. Kezu's initiation was really solid, but
man, look
great
at that
reaction.
Intensity. You got to love the passion of this SG team.
Yeah, they've got to be so hyped right now. Definitely in the lead, tier 3 down, basically an even game in terms of strategic stuff, but gold-wise, it's looking good for SG, and they've got the late game. And the better teamfight heroes, too.
So it's basically down to an SG mistake at this point. Yeah. How can Secret force it?
We almost saw it in the last engagement. The Slark farming in a really aggressive place, spotted out by a Hawk. Just everything went right for him. He gets Dark Pecked off before he gets roared. He leaps to the low ground at the same time, which puts him in a worse place for Secret to follow up. And then his ally saves him just in time for him to get his abilities off. I mean, that fight could have gone really well for Secret. At the least, force the Slark buyback. That's what they got to do. They got to find the right initiation, whether it's Storm or Slark. Chain stun that guy till he dies, and then get some map control back.
Puppey hiding under the watchful gaze of the Kezu Hawk. Just trying to keep tabs, gather intelligence. And SG right now looking like they just want to wait for this next Roshan. And I mean, it was hard enough killing him once. I don't know if Slark will have room for this Aegis, but potentially the Storm could pick it up, still not yet purchasing that next item. Somebody is going to be very difficult to kill in this next fight.
I think they're mostly just concerned about Slark being alive because he by far does the most damage, and he's a lot more mana unreliant. He's going to have Lincolns. He's got tons of stats. He won't be as pressured.
Are they going for HFN here? They do break the Lincolns. He jumps away. He's been caught again. Is there backup coming in? Secondary roars there. Will he get the ult off? Will he survive? The Lotus Orb, the Force. He stays alive. He turns it around, and now the ball in on the mid one. BKB's wearing off. Oh, they're going to back off.
Oh, Epicenter's going to come. They're not done yet.
Oh,
yes, they are.
Waiting a miss from Tavos.
Okay, I think they're going to feel good about that one. That's a refresher on cooldown.
I really felt like they were just going to all in on that fight after Secret, but a bit late to the party. So
yeah,
some whiffed opportunities, but hey, the refresher is down, and with the refresher down, the kill, even with it, they're not able to get the kill. Seems like no chance that they kill him without it.
Yeah, the hard part is it's always going to be Beastmaster in the front. The big damage is coming from Timber Saw. It just doesn't scale single target. It's more of like a stay alive, keep casting your spells, eventually kill the guy. They've got nobody that can DPS. It's basically Invoker, I guess. But he doesn't want to go into melee range to hit somebody.
If he's right-clicking, that means Slark is going to see him, and just his mouth starts watering. Like, I'm going to come coming at you with my Abyssal.
Yeah, no kidding. And if Invoker doesn't BKB at the perfect time, goes down. He did go for AoE Deafening Blast this game. I think he absolutely needed that. It's a much better way to control team fight or carries kind of stuff by just blasting out and disarming them. but they're going to try to interrupt the Roche. It's getting kind of close. They're going to be here in time.
The Rock is ready and in a great position on the high ground as Cat to potentially turn this fight on its head if it erupts. He's going to drop it preemptively right as Kezu comes in. Now down to the low ground, Pylite Die goes and Adriano just engages straight onto the IO, grabs that pesky ball of light and snuffs it out, and now turning back for Kezu, who really wants Cat, but it doesn't matter. This Warlock's already dropped the golem. He is going to survive. All the while HFN chewing through Timbersaw, locking him down, a bash or two more, and he's going to have him in his clutches right where he wants him, bashing and crushing Secret. SG close in on the push opportunity. The bottom lane has been shoved in though. Mid one, MP buying back, and mid one threatening to try and go for this base trade, and maybe that is the choice that Secret have to make of just giving up on fights and trying to win through objectives.
It is very certainly at that position. This game is looking so bad for Secret now. 2 fights in a row lost. They did snipe the Roshan, but the Aegis goes to SG, and they win another fight. No epicenter use. They're going to dive in.
Oh, mid one, he's in a lot of trouble. The BKB's committed, diving deep for the Invoker. Can they focus him now? They need another bash. Not going to get it. Kezu does have Aurora Bearable, and then we'll find HFN, but to the rescue comes Tamba with the Burrow Strike and looking for more. Low, but not dead just yet. We'll back away, going to heal back up. Still not hitting structures, though. Perhaps focusing too much on the heroes. They turn back for the melee racks. They're going to get it, too. So finally drawing some much-needed structural blood. SG look for a clean retreat now, and it seems they will have it. Bottom lane was being pressured during this time, Kevin, but the racks stand intact.
It is getting slightly scary for them, and that's both of the tier 3s are gone. That means a very rapid racks taking if they do lose a fight, especially if it's close to the base. So priority number 1 for SG is play very safe. Priority number 2 is push the lanes. Do not let Secret take a fight close to your base, because it's just going to give them a lot of time to take a double racks. That could lose them all of the advantage that they worked so hard for up until this point.
Well, I think they heard you loud and clear. Now a second pair of boots of travel, so SG definitely looking for that extra bit of mobility to stay back, defend those side pushing lanes, and then TP in and join the main fight. Really do not want to get ratted to death.
And now it's refresher time for Slark.
Oh man, BOT2's on the Sand King as well, so you're
really
looking at like the Slark is basically at this point it's like you've got a Lifestealer Sand King packed inside that can just pop out at any moment.
Yeah, that's actually going to be so good. And Sand King going for the 50 health regen perk. Normally I'd criticize this, but against a team without a carry, like any kind of survivability is the way to go. You saw how long it took for them to even try to kill the Warlock in that last fight. Just all it took was a Glimmer Cape and a Force Staff. This guy's got 2 deaths this game. It's insane.
And they do have to chase for kills. Like we saw last fight, MP, he died trying to chase down friggin' Cat, who's been poor as all hell the entire game on the Warlock. So, you know, if they have that much trouble killing the Warlock, Sandcane's definitely going to be difficult to bring down.
Yeah, exactly. And just more items on the way. Looks like he's going to queue up an Octarine Core. I don't know if I like that one. I guess it will lower his Burrow Strike cooldown. That could be really significant. Epicenter in the same place, but
gives you more HP, I suppose. So
I still am thinking about some kind of disable. I
like
guess there are
a
lot of Lotus Orbs though, so maybe that's why he's just going to settle for the old reliable jumping in the ground.
I do want to point out that Secret have no buybacks right now. Timber's on cooldown for 4 minutes. The rest of the team anywhere from like 300 to about 800 gold short. So if that Invoker gets caught and mid one dies, he is out of options.
They're ready to go high ground. They do spot Puppy. This would be...
They have the ward.
Oh, did they see mid one? They did. They saw a small glimmer. And that kind of reveals things, but here they are. Look at that Burrow.
Big blink, but it's onto the bounty hunters, so they're not going to jump for it. As exciting as this moment must be for SG, they are patient down the stretch. They focus on objectives. They try to force Secret to come to them. Tamba waits on the side. The creep's not long for this world. That is a hell of a lot of spam, but still Hero is able to hit buildings during this time. Aegis and Cheese both on the Storm. HFN will have a buyback if needed. Also ate a Moonshard earlier, so this is a super stacked Slark, but...
Okay, they relocate to the top lane. They're going to try to take the racks. Glyph is actually used here. This should be the time to go in. They can't get back in time.
And they're going to jump Puppy. They find him. Now looking for MP as well. Locking him down. Focusing him as much as humanly possible. Then the Rocket's perfect. Right as Pylite Die comes back in. It's into the MP. It's into disaster. 3 have fallen. Make it 4. Invoker not coming back to the fight. Finally he'll TP. They say screw it. It's throne time. Brazilian Dota is here and is performing on the big stage. Live in Kiev. for your viewing pleasure. Secret getting slaughtered. They are going to lose HFN, but he's got the buyback. Meanwhile, Timber, Beastmaster, no buybacks at the ready. They see it. They see the opening. They burrow through. It's on two again. It's Tavo in the clutch coming through. Puppy's next. Secret crumbling. Down he goes as well. And now the way lies open. Perhaps to the fountain. No, they say, let's take the throne. Let's show respect and let's end this game. They burrow mid one. They work on the Invoker. They'll chew him up too. And SG have pulled out the miracle in Kiev. The comeback kids are in town today.
The most discounted series of the day turns out to be by far the biggest upset. We are about to see some very excited guys running onto the stage.
I